Hey, Alex. Congratulations on the victory. It looked like an exhausting one. How are you feeling after those 3 rounds?
I'm exhausted. There's no lie about that. Hats off to the man. He pushed the pace. He didn't stop coming forward. I felt that he knew that if he didn't keep pushing the pace, I was definitely going to coast right by for that victory. But, yeah, man, it was a great fight.
Were you surprised he kept coming? Because in the 3rd round especially, you cracked him with some clean shots on the feet, and he still just lunged forward.
Yeah, well, I seen him do that in plenty of fights of his, you know. He's a grinder. He's one of those guys that'll take big shots, get in large deficits, and still come back strong. So I wasn't surprised at that at all. I knew he was going to be a tough guy.
I can't imagine those fights are necessarily the most enjoyable of experiences, but when you finish that and you get out and you get the victory, do you think, man, I just survived 50 minutes of grueling output?
Every minute in there is enjoyable for me. If you can't tell I'm smiling, then, you know, I love it. I love the fights. I love the hard ones. I love seeing who I truly am in those times of struggles, you know. It's a beautiful struggle, you know, and I believe I'm like a flower. I can grow out of concrete, so pour the more on me and I'm going to get better. I'm going to look more beautiful at the end.
Were you talking to him at the end of the fight?
Yes.
What were you saying?
He's not going to take this from me. It's mine. You know, I can't really recall, but I knew that he said a lot of things before the fight, that I'm basically going to get steamrolled and run right through me. And I just had to let him know, you have to know that was never going to happen.
Was that something you knew you wanted to tell him before you went in, or was that just 3rd round, you're feeling it, you're feeling the grind, and you just think he should know now?
I just felt that he started to give in. He started to fold, you know. Even when I did hit him and he couldn't get the takedown, I felt him give up a little bit. And if anything, I wanted to spur a little bit more fire because I liked the fight.
Round 2, you had that triangle locked in. It looked like you decided to sort of let it go and reset the position. Is that what happened? Did he slip out? Did you let it go? What happened there?
A little bit of both. He was slipping out, so I decided to... Excuse me. He was slipping out, so I decided to let him go because I felt like he was going to get out eventually. And if he didn't, I would have just tired my legs out. So a little bit of both.
Last one for me. John Anik mentioned something on the broadcast which I found interesting. He said you guys were sitting together in Manila after you'd lost a certain amount of fights in a row, and he said that you were worried about getting another fight, and he said from that moment on you changed and you're back in here, you're winning fights. Do you remember that conversation you had with John Anik?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And if it's like you said, I changed, then that person that was having that conversation is long gone.
Cool. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex. Another thing they said out there was that when they were watching you, they said that this was the best Alex they had ever seen. Was it the best Alex that they've ever seen? Do you feel like this version of you right now is the best that's ever been out there in the cage?
For now, yeah. But like I said before in my previous interviews, I want to get 1% better every day. So even if I lose or win, every time I step in there, I feel I'm a better version of myself no matter what happens.
Is part of that, do you immediately go back and watch tape of this to see if you met that? Or is that something that you could tell already after the fight if you met that sort of goal that you set for yourself?
I can tell that after every training session in the gym, that I am meeting my goal, that I am getting closer and closer to that perfection of myself. No matter what happens, you know, every day at the gym, the work that I'm put through, even if it's my big good day or bad day, I know that I'm getting better just because I woke up and decided against all else odds to be there.
What I liked about what you just said, which is maybe it's a little bit different from some of the stuff in the past. You've always been very just your own fight. You go out there to fight for yourself, to prove something for yourself. I like how you said that he said that he was going to steamroll you, so you use that as fuel. How often do you do that? I mean, because I know right now you're just like, I just wanted to go out there. The guy's not going to get in my head. I'm going to do my thing. But do you let this happen every once in a while where a fighter will sort of amp you up a little bit and push you?
Well, it doesn't amp me up. It's just I know who I am. And I know that whatever people say about me, it is just an opinion. It's not true until you're in there with me and you prove it to me. But other than that, I know that no matter who it is in there, even Uriah Faber said that I lost that fight, but even he says I was no walk in the park. You know, they're going to know me when they are in there with me, and you're going to know that I'm a fighter. I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to go to the ends of the earth with you if you need me to.
If you can, kind of clue me into the game plan. What was it going for? I know a lot of times you go with the flow when the fight goes out there, but was there something sort of set in plan of what you were expecting him to do, and how much of that actually played out out there in the octagon?
Well, I just know, no, not really. We wanted to throw more side kicks, so I did that. We knew he was going to wrestle. I know everybody that is going to get in there with me is going to try and exploit my weakness, which I think is my grappling and my wrestling. So this whole camp, we did work on a lot of wrestling and grappling. So I made my weakness into one of my strengths. So I hope that surprises everybody that gets in there with me.
They did happen to mention they thought that outside of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, you're probably the only person that would open up with the side kick to the head. What I love about it is that you've always kept a close tie to the martial arts and traditional martial arts. And so by doing some of the things like some of these side kicks and stuff, will that always be a big part of your fight game out there, that you'll always throw something out there that tends to be maybe a more traditional than what most of the MMA artists coming up today have started with?
Well, I mean, tradition or non-traditional, I do what works. You know, I have very long legs. They're pretty too, so I want to throw them out there.
They are pretty, and the hair is pretty as well.
Thank you.
So looking at 2021, what sort of goals are you setting for yourself for the rest of the year? How many times do you want to get out there? And are there any names that you just want to challenge yourself against?
I haven't really put much thought into it. I just know once I get back home, I just want to get back and get better. And just get better. Not necessarily just as a martial artist, but as a human being. I want to transcend myself and keep transcending myself. This journey of life never stops, you know, until we die. So until I meet that ultimate release, I want to see the extent of my abilities in all aspects of my life.
How do you celebrate this win? Do you do a little gardening? What are you going to do to celebrate this win?
Well, definitely I want to finish remodeling my house and fixing out my garden. I'm doing everything myself, so I would like to dive deep back into my work.
Awesome. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.